Howdy everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to the channel. So we just did a short video, but I wanted to give you a long form version. And this is basically a holidays project. So over the course of the next couple of weeks until Christmas, we will be doing a tutorial every single day. We may even be doing bigger tutorials as we go along, and you might even get some pretty decent stuff in there. So to start us off, we're doing 3 different color changes, and we want to talk about breaking them each down and the different things you can do with them, because they're not just for color changes. So the longevity of the idea, let's go ahead and show you what it looks like. So as you're going through the cards, you're simply going to retain the bottom 3 cards, square them up as you pull them out. This is what it looks like in real time. So there's the Jack of Clubs. You can snap your fingers, and that's going to give you the Ace of Diamonds. Wowzers. If you simply rub that on your arm, you'll see the moment it turns into the Queen. And of course, if you just give that Queen a nice little rub, it will turn back into nothing. Very nice, right? You can even do a bonus effect, as you can see, as I cut. Queen in the center, you can snap your fingers and the Queen will return for later on in the trick if you wanted to do something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and break that down and talk about each move and the relevance of those. So the first one is the double retention. I haven't seen anybody else doing it, so for all intents and purposes, it is something that I do. I'm sure other people have done it. As you go through the swivel cut, you're just going to retain the bottom cards. Now you can do this while you're talking. You can go slow. You literally just doing a finger count. You don't even have to look at it. You can just go 1, 2, 3, and I can feel that. And so there should be there's 4 cards there. So it's in a little bit more than I should have. But boom. So there's 3 cards. So you got 3 cards retained into 1. What's nice about this is that as you do, and typically here's how I'll do it. I'll do 1 cut in half. Usually with the swivel you might do little ones, but you might get lucky towards the bottom, especially if you got something like a separation there. What's nice is when you put this card over, it squares everything up nicely for you, and that's what we're going for. So typically what I'll do is I'll do half the deck first. Then, with the other half of the deck, I'll get my 3, and then as I bring this over, it squares everything up. Contact the thumb of the other hand, turn it over, hold it like this. If you expose the edge, you're going to see the thickness there, but by putting it here, you've controlled it, and you've got the other hand free to readjust, turn everything over. Now, you're going to use the turnover as you're going to get the break under the next card, but you're going to use that turnover as coverage to get those fingers in there when you do the reveal. Now that's going to be propped up. You can grab from the corners. You can do other things here as well, and we'll talk about how you can break that down. So this is just simply the air swivel turnover, but here you're going to rub it on the arm, and you can see from the exposed view, if you're watching this camera, you'll see that the hand provides the coverage as you lean up into it. But if you look at the exposed view of the top camera, it's still pretty decent of a, it goes from, even if I turn towards it, it's covered, you can see it here, and then as I rotate it over, the hand provides the coverage, and you're going to turn into the spectators, and now you're left in this situation where everything's covered up nice and neat. Here's where the change comes with the Erdnase, right? So don't start with your fingers out like this, pushing here. That's not going to look very good. What you want to do is you want to start with your fingers curled, contacting the deck here, and then extend off your index finger until your palm contacts the next card. Now you're going to pull that out until, as you pull out, you're going to slowly, if you're exposed here, they're going to see how this card's off from here. When it works best, it's when there's the depth illusion and they don't know that it's really off the deck a whole lot. So now you're clear. You're going to square everything up, and now you simply rub that down through there. So it wasn't 100% clean, but then now you're left with this, which you can easily cut that to the table. Hello. Oh, hold on. You gotta put your pants on.
Where are my clothes?
I don't know, but you can't come in here without... I'm doing a video. Okay? Love you. Kiddos and all that. Anywho, so cutting that to the center sets you up for another trick if you want to do that. Okay, now let's go ahead and break down each one of them and talk about why we do what we do. So the idea behind the double from the top is there's a lot of control, and you can do a lot of the same things here, but what's nice about this is that if you're doing that double retention from the bottom, okay, you're trying to get 2 cards as one. Now the nice thing about doing 2 cards is that you can pretty much control 2 cards fairly easily, and I'll even do something like this where you'll come in, you'll get your 2 cards at the bottom, square everything up, then you can just flip it over because you got more freedom there. Now there's 3 cards there, so you could do it with 3. So 3 cards works well with this idea to do the practicing these changes. But if you're going to go with 2 cards, you get the 2 cards off the bottom. Square it up. You do it the same way. Now you've got the second card. Now you don't have to do the reveal right away because let's say you're doing a setup for this card. So let's say the 6 of diamonds. For instance, let's say we have a card selected, and that's going to be the Jack of clubs. Now you just control it to the bottom, which is good, or alternatively, there's their card. Now you've controlled it second from the bottom, from a shuffle. Now you can go through the cards and just say, okay, let's go ahead and have a card selected from the center, convincing, because you're swiveling over, and you have half the deck. That's why we're going to retain this here. That's why I like to do this. Let's say I'm going to go with a card from the center. You're going to separate half the deck, instantly come back for another swivel to your 2 card retention. Now as you go in, convince her right there. Boom. Card is in between. You're going to pull that out, and now, ha-cha, you have the 10 of spades. Now, I didn't say this was going to be your card. It says we're going to get a card from the center. So let's go ahead and put that over here underneath the box. Keep that in shot, shall we? And now you're free to do whatever you want. Mixing up the cards. I always like to do the hot shot reveal here. Wait a second. That's the 10. Then what do we have over here? Let's go ahead and use our 10 underneath. Flip it up. Boom. Magic. So it's great for transposition effects. It's great for vanishing and whatnot. I just did it there. Even if you do it fast, and if you get that extra card there, even if you get extra cards, that's going to be okay if it's not a setup. Because then you're not worried about, that's the card that they saw. That's going to be the next card. Here's the other way that I like to use this. And that is, go ahead and give the cards a mix. Very nice. We're going to go ahead and use the bottom card. So we're going to take it slow here. That's the bottom card. They saw the bottom card. They know what the bottom card is. But when you flip that over, here, go ahead and hold on to that. It's in their hands now. It is in their hands. They clearly saw the bottom card twice. They saw it on the bottom, and then they saw it when you swivel it over. And now that's clearly the bottom card. So it couldn't possibly be a different card. It couldn't possibly... See, that's a different card. That's the king. That's the queen. That's the 5. None of these cards are cards that we saw. So that's what I love about the double retention. There's some convincers hidden in there that really help with that. Freely use it. And if you come up with a better idea, let me know. Second one is the turnover for the arms. The way that one works is simply getting cards back to back. And then you're going to use the same principle that you do in the air. Just be careful you don't rock the back, But you're going to do it on your arm, and there's going to be coverage from your hand to do the arm turnover. The arm turnover. Let's go see if we can find a different all the red cards apparently are on top. There we go. Fascinating. Okay, so let's see if we got a red and a black card. And we're going to get it to turn over here. You can see it in the top camera, but then when I put it on top of the deck, it's a different card. So it can be convincing. I enjoy it, and there really isn't a whole lot to that one in terms of like it's a quick change. It's a color change idea. But the other thing that would work with that is, say for instance, you go to one of my favorite gaffs, which this deck does not have. Of course not. That's the only problem with this particular deck. Let's see. How about we do an idea like this? Okay, so minor setup as we come through here. There we go. Okay. So using the idea of what we talked about earlier, having a perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and use the bottom card here. That's going to be the 6 of diamonds. We're going to do our retention over here like this. And that, of course, is going to be the bottom card, right? Very good. We snap that, and we're actually going to change that into the 10. Why don't we go ahead and take that 10, see if we can turn it back into the 6. Wait a second. I don't... Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So that... Whew. Hate when that happens. Caught in the Matrix or something. Anyway, so there's the idea to a gaff card, right? Beautiful. Now the concern is that you now have that gaff card hidden second from the top. No problem, because you can actually, what I would do in this case, a little extra bonus, is go with a double. Do a pinky count to a double. Cut that and do a double undercut, which is going to control that card to the bottom. Then you're going to retain it in a gambler's cop as you cut the deck. That's going to leave the card in your hand, and then you could easily, get rid of it from there. So you just say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and move the box. You're good. As long as that doesn't slide anywhere, people probably won't even notice that there's a card sitting on top of it, and then you can always clean it up later. Beautiful, right? Okay, so there is the turnover as an idea, using it with the other one. So that whole routine, again, you could add a gaff card, you can do whatever you want. It's beautiful. Last up is the Erdnase. Erdnase is, in the book, sitting right over here, the Expert at the Card Table book. You can do it from the face of the deck. Again, curled fingers, push, get a good angle on that so there's a depth illusion there, as if this is still on the top of the deck. Clear it from the deck until you get a clearance with your palm, grabbing that other card. And then as soon as it clears, you're going to want to start pushing everything back together. Yeah, and it kind of looks something like that. Whoa, what? That's the fun of it. It's one of those things that you can do over and over and over again. Not just turning the cards over and then, like obviously how I did it. Let's say you're stuck in a situation like this and you want clearance. Okay, so let's say you got a double lift situation and you're going to turn that card into another card. Very nice. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to get stuck back into the same situation. So what you're going to want to do there is you're going to want to do a variation move, which is going to allow you to make the top of the deck clear in order to bring something back like that. Now, the other option is pretty simple. Is you go from here, then you're going to flip the deck over, and now you're going to do something like that. So there's an idea that you can do for a cleanup. That's using another principle that I'm not going to necessarily teach here. If you want to learn that, go check out Pip Trip, from Doug Kahn. He teaches it in his tutorial for that. You might need a membership for that, I think. But that's okay. Memberships are good. They help out the channel. Like if you join my membership for 99 cents a month, you could learn excellent magic just like this. Okay, so let's talk about that idea one more time just to show you the cleanup. So the Erdnase here is going to get you to this. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. Now, you have the option to just turn it back over. That's fine. But if you don't want to do that and you're stuck in this situation where you got to figure out what to do with that card, just do a deck flip, a good one, a half deck flip here, and then just put your hands on top there and then go into a shuffle. And now you've just buried those cards into the deck. So that's going to work for you pretty well, I think, because it all seems relatively normal for something that you would do. Just don't make it look suspicious, because then it becomes suspicious. Erdnase comes in handy for a lot of different things. It comes in handy for transpositions. It comes in handy for color changes. It comes in handy for a lot of different things. The nice thing about color changes is that they don't necessarily have to be used for the purpose that you think they are. For instance, let's talk about this to wrap up the idea. Here's your card right here. The Queen of... Yeah, that's the Queen. If we just rub your Queen a little bit, you'll notice that it actually changes into the 10 of Hearts. Wowzers. Not for long, though, right? Not for long, though. Here's the idea. Because now you can turn that back over and you're good to go. You could even go into a deck flip here. And let's see how that works on this side. Let's go ahead with the 10, because there's the 10, right? And then go back into an Erdnase. Back into the Queen. Something that's in reverse. Doesn't really work out so well. But that's the magic theory behind it, is why do we do what we do? The progression of it is simple. Let's do a storyboard. I'm going to have a card selected from the center. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's from the center, right? 2 of Hearts is just as good as any. We snap our fingers and that card is already turned into a different card. It actually gained 3. Let's see if we can stay with that theme of 3. Well, we did. It went to 8. Happens just like that sometimes. And then it disappears altogether. You can spread the cards out. It works just fine. If you want to do cleanup, there is a sneaky way that you can do cleanup, which might look something like, if you grab the card, try not to flash. So your card is, of course, the 8. You don't want to flash that card. Let's see if I can remember how it's done. So maybe something like a double, or like a convincing turnover here like this would be, go for a second deal as you pull the card out. And so you're going to flip over the big motion of turning the deck over, pointing to the deck, have this card out here, and then put that back in there, and then you'll notice that it's their card. What's the nice thing about this is that they think that this card, which is the covering card, is this card. But that, of course, is their card, which gives you the option to bring that back to the top if you want to. Just saying. Anywho, that's enough magic theory for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please stay tuned. We will be doing one every single week. Friday is going to be our tutorial day until Christmas. We're going to be teaching bigger and better things. These videos are going to be drawn out, and we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, and we're going to be talking about magic theory. So thank you, everybody, and remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you. Can't end it like that. Don't forget the subscribe button over here. Don't forget the best video for you over here. Click the links in the description for some affiliate marketing, just in case you want to buy stuff for Christmas from Amazon, Juggy USA if you need some extra water in your life, or Canis Lupus. Canis Lupus works as well for some nice playing cards. And of course, if you want to get into YouTube, you can follow the links below for cameras, lighting, and pretty much anything else you might want from Amazon. There you go. That's the end.